Ryogi Shiki is a name that echoes tragedy and enigma, a figure straddling the line between life and death. Her journey is one of unbearable loss, unrelenting duality, and a search for identity that may never be found. As the protagonist of Kara no Kyoukai, she is cursed with the mystic eyes of death perception, an ability that forces her to see the death in everything and everyone around her. It's a vision that transforms the world into fragile lines of morality, each one leading to an inevitable end. But perhaps the greatest tragedy of all lies in the fracture of her own soul. Born into a family of demon hunters, Shiki was destined to inherit not only their power, but also their curse. A bloodline bound by dual personalities, a male persona, violent, impulsive, and consumed by obsession, and a female persona, reserved, calculating, and haunted by melancholy. The two were meant to coexist in harmony, but tragedy shattered that fragile balance, leaving Shiki to face a world where she is both whole and broken, alive and dead. Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "We are our choices." But for Shiki, what happens when her choices are taken from her? When her very identity is torn apart by forces beyond her control? Will she ever be able to reclaim herself? Or will she forever be trapped in the shadow of the person she was meant to be and the person she could never be? Before we delve deeper into the haunting journey of Ryogi Shiki, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join me in uncovering the tragic mystery behind this iconic character. But before we can understand who Shiki is today, we must explore the legacy of the Ryogi family, whose bloodline of duality set the stage for the darkness that would consume her. The Ryougi family, an ancient clan of demon hunters, harbored a chilling creation of dual personalities within their offspring. This practice aimed to forge heirs capable of embodying both male and female identities, intertwining yin and yang within a single being. Shiki was born into this legacy. Her brother Kaname was deemed unworthy of leadership due to his inability to manifest this duality, casting him aside for Shiki. Shiki's consciousness was shared with Shiki, her male counterpart, a presence that was both foreign and intimately hers. Shiki was characterized by a coarse male speech pattern, a cold demeanor, and a penchant for violence. He was the embodiment of Shiki's suppressed aggression, a constant reminder of the family's cruel tradition. Despite their shared existence, Shiki harbored his own disdain for his violent tendencies, choosing to remain in the background, subordinate to Shiki. From a tender age, Shiki was subjected to relentless training in combat and cultural indoctrination, all in preparation to assume the mantle of the Ryogi family's head. Her dual personalities were both a source of power and a profound curse, isolating her from the semblance of a normal life. Shiki's awareness of her own abnormality fostered a deep-seated self-loathing, further alienating her from those around her. She yearned for the simplicity of a normal existence, yet felt trapped within the confines of her family's design. Things would take a tragic turn for Shiki when she became acquainted with Mikia Kokuto. Mikia, a gentle and trustworthy individual, manifested a change within Shiki. In a pivotal moment in Kara no Kyoukai, a tragic accident occurred that would alter Shiki's life forever. The accident occurred when Shiki, overwhelmed by internal conflicts and the weight of her family's expectations, attempted to commit suicide by throwing herself in front of a moving truck. However, in a twist of fate, Shiki intervened to save her. As Shiki fell, Shiki seemingly traded places with her, sacrificing himself to protect her from the impact. In the aftermath, Shiki woke from a coma to find herself alone, with Shiki's presence entirely absent. This absence led to a profound sense of loss and detachment, as she could no longer feel the male persona's influence. She also experienced a disconnection from her memories before the accident, knowing she was Shiki but not fully feeling like herself. The absence of Shiki left a void, leading Shiki to adopt a cold, calculating demeanor to emulate her former self. However, this facade was hollow, highlighting her internal struggle to reconcile her fragmented identity. With this new chance at life, Shiki began to develop relationships that would help ease her torment and loneliness. Mikia Kokoto, a dangerous attachment, he became an essential figure in Shiki's life, especially during her coma, highlighting his deep affection and dedication. After her awakening, Mikia continues to support Shiki, even working under Toko Aozaki to remain close to her. This proximity allows him to be a grounding presence in Shiki's tumultuous world, though it also places him in the path of danger. Azaka Kokoto, a rival in emotion. Mikia's younger sister harbors complex feelings towards Shiki. Azaka is depicted as harboring romantic feelings towards her brother, which fuels a one-sided rivalry with Shiki. Despite their competitive exterior, both women share a mutual respect, though their connection is strained by their shared affection for Mikia. Toko Aozaki serves as both a mentor and a complex figure in Shiki's life. As head of the Garen no Do agency, Toko involves Shiki in investigating supernatural occurrences, providing her with a sense of purpose and belonging. However, Toko's motivations are multifaceted. While she offers guidance, she also views Shiki as a tool to further her own enigmatic goals. This duality creates a relationship that is both nurturing and exploitative, influencing Shiki's development in unforeseen ways. Shiki's existence is marked by a profound duality, not only in her fragmented psyche, but also in the extraordinary ability she wields. Central to her formidable skill set are the mystic eyes of death perception, perception, a supernatural endowment that allows her to perceive the inherent mortality of all things. This perception manifests as visual lines and points upon objects and beings, representing their ultimate death. By tracing these lines or piercing these points, Shiki can bring about instantaneous destruction, effectively severing the existential threads that binds her targets to life. Beyond her mystic eyes, Shiki is a competent martial artist, trained at a young age in various combat disciples, benefiting her lineage as a demon hunter. Her combat style is both precise and lethal, seamlessly integrating her supernatural perception with her physical prowess. Armed often with a knife, she can exploit these lines of death she perceives, dispatching adversaries with surgical efficiency. Her agility and reflexes are heightened to supernatural levels, allowing her to confront and neutralize threats that would overwhelm ordinary humans. However, the true depth of Shiki's power lies in her connection to the root, the metaphysical source of all existence. This aspect of her being grants her almost godly understanding of the universe's fundamental truths, enabling her to perceive and potentially sever not only just physical life, but conceptual entities as well. In this state, Shiki transcends the conventional limitations, embodying a force that can challenge the very fabric of reality. Yet, such immense power is both a blessing and a curse. The constant exposure to death's omnipresence weighs heavily on Shiki's psyche, fostering a detachment from life and a perpetual internal struggle. Her abilities, while granting her unparalleled combat effectiveness, also serves as a barrier, distancing herself from the warmth of human connection and anchoring her in a realm where death is only certainty. Shiki does not live loudly. She drifts, like a shadow that forgot it once had a shape. And yet, beneath the silence, beneath the stoic mask, and the gaze that sees death, there's a heartbeat. Her story is not a celebration. It is a mourning, a soft, constant elegy for everything she's lost. Her other half, her innocence, the ease of being whole. She moves through the world like someone walking through a dream they cannot wake from, a dream stitched together by memory, regret, and the faint flickering hope that there's still something worth reaching for. We are all broken. That's how light gets in. Leonard Cohen. This line clings to Shiki like the wind on a cold morning because in her brokenness, she isn't less. She's just human, flawed, fractured, searching. She's a girl who wakes up every day in a world full of invisible endings, lines of mortality, threading through every surface, every soul, and yet she keeps walking, even when she doesn't know why, even when it hurts, because sometimes continuing on is the only thing we can do. In the sounds of her struggle, Shiki finds meaning not in grand gestures, but in the smallest moments, the fleeting kindnesses, the hesitations before the inevitable strike, the lingering glances that ask for something more. But she is also a reminder to us, a mirror that reflects the parts of ourselves we often ignore, the parts we refuse to acknowledge, the fear, the loss, the need for connection, no matter how broken we may feel. If Shiki's story left something with you, don't let it be a fleeting thought. Take a moment, reflect. The silence is there, but it doesn't have to be a void. If it made you feel something, if it made you remember that you're not alone in your own pain, in your own questions, then share this. Let others feel the weight of what you've just learned. We walk through this world trying to make sense of what we've lost. Sometimes the simplest thing we can do is reach out, even if it's just to share a thought, a feeling, a piece of the journey. So let's continue this conversation. Leave a comment below, share your thoughts, and let's reflect on how much of Shiki's struggle lives within us. Because Ryougi Shiki doesn't ask to be understood. But if someone listens, really listens, they might hear the quietest kind of plea, not to save her, just to see her. And in a world where so many are invincible, would the act of truly seeing someone, of truly understanding them, be the most human thing we can do?